Jawi, National Geographic explorers from Kenya, Goldfran and Aristide, marine biologists of AMCO, the African Marine Mammal Organization, are on an expedition to scuba dive into the sea at Limbe in the west coast of Cameroon. This has never been done before in these waters. Leaves us curious about what they would find. Nyango na Muna, meaning mother and daughter. That is what these two rocks are called. They are believed to have mystical powers and to protect the people of Batoke, a village along the west coast of Cameroon where they are found. In the culture of the peoples along this coast, the sea is a source of livelihood. It is also a mysterious place that harbors supernatural beings. Only few will venture before its surface.
First time when I came in Cameroon, I was meeting many of the fishers. And when I was talking to them, I was really wondering how fishers, they cannot swim in their oceans. Most of the fishers were telling me that the ocean is difficult to swim in and they are afraid and things like that. And I was telling them, no, the ocean is your home. You need to discover what's going on under the sea, underwater. Cameroon is a place where nobody has been diving in. So we know nothing about it. Maybe we can find a new species. Maybe, you know, it's kind of mysterious. So, yeah.
So what could be beneath these waves? The ocean is this vast area that is unknown to humans, and in revealing the underwater diversity of the ocean, we are in a way unveiling the mysteries down there. The west coast of Cameroon is a biodiversity hotspot thanks to special features like the volcanic origin of the soils from Mount Cameroon and the wetness. It is one of the rainiest places in the world. Could the marine biodiversity also be special? AMCO, the African Marine Mammal Organization, has been working in the west coast of Cameroon for 10 years. To study the marine biodiversity, they have been relying on the variety of the fishermen's catch to have an idea of what is beneath the sea at this coast.
So the coast of Cameroon is a very unique coast. And we've been working on this coast for 10 years now, but just waiting for the species to be, stranded or being in the market for sale. And they're already dead when they're on the land. And this is not inspiring. And we wanted to know how do they look like when they are alive in the water. So that's what pushes us to do this expedition so that we can have a view and images of those animals alive in the environment.
They have also been working with fishermen who know the sea best in a citizen science project called the Siren.
In the first day, he asked me information about how the fishing is going on, what are the type of fishing they do, what are the type of fish they kill, and I explained to him. He gave me some form to fill, and I filled for him.
And then you've been doing other things. I hear you've been filming fish.
Yes.
And other diversity.
After 1 year, he gave me a phone. So I started to gather pictures for him. And the phone carries a lot of memory. Whenever I snap, it goes direct to the office.
Siren is actually the app that sends the images directly to AMCO.
Thanks to those fishermen, we have been able to document sea turtles, both the one that comes to lay their eggs on the beaches here in Bakengili or in Batoke, and also the one that are still in the sea on the feeding ground. We have been able to see sea turtle feeding around the Hovia Islands and also around the Bota Islands. We know that we still have a lot of feeding ground to document through diving expeditions and underwater camera expeditions. We have also been able to document sharks and rays, with a lot of them that are endangered and critically endangered. The species such as the hammerhead have been reported dead in the market. the angle sharks are reported frequently. Then we also have the species such as what we call cetacean, which are whales and dolphins.
So, will the team be lucky to find any of these? During 4 days, they will be diving into this ocean and filming underwater images of the biodiversity and the habitat. And so after months of preparation for this expedition, today the team is all set to go. First, they have to make sure that they have everything they need and that the underwater cameras are in good working condition.
So it's going to be like that. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the tape.
One crucial member of the team who will not be diving is Denley Delaney, all the way from the United States of America. She will be responsible for the deployment of the underwater cameras.
The role of our team, the Exploration Technology Lab, so we're developing these cutting-edge innovative tools and we're providing them to National Geographic explorers to support their research. So we're really the support team that brings something really new and innovative that allows the scientists to collect data that they haven't yet collected before. And so pretty much this is our role, you know, help them collect that data, and then from then on they can run with that data.
So you'll be deploying deep sea cameras, camera systems around the world. Just tell us just how performant those are and how important they are in contributing to research and in other things.
Yes, so we have been deploying deep sea cameras since 2009. That's when our team first developed the system. And so far they have been deployed approximately 600 times. We've deployed them in all oceans around the world. And because so little of the deep sea has been explored, we find that with our camera systems, approximately 1 in every 10 or so deployments can yield some sort of publishable finding. And so we're finding really great impact with these cameras. And what makes them so unique is that when you think about, you know, access to the deep sea, typically that requires a large vessel to hold a large system like an ROV, but our cameras are very small, they're very lightweight, so they're able to be deployed from a small vessel. They're not as costly to deploy, and so really what that means is we're able to increase the number of deployments that can be done around the world, increase the amount of data that can be collected in this part of the ocean.
After making sure that everything is in order, the team set out for the first day of the expedition.
Let's make history.
At Ngeme Beach in Limbe. Accompanying them are local fishermen they have been working with, marine scientists of the AMCO team. They are heading for 2 little islands off the coast of Limbe. The main objective of today will be to deploy the deep sea cameras. About 20 minutes after takeoff, they arrive at the first position where they will be deploying the drop camera, as the deep sea camera is also called. Some preliminaries before the camera is dropped. First, they measure the depth and the transparency of the water. Then they prepare the camera. It has to be inviting to sea creatures so that they can swim towards it and be filmed. So they feed it with bait.
Of them, if not more. So many.
What my camera?
Is it?
What about the camera? What's here in this box?
The bait here is raw fish, and it goes into a compartment with holes so that the smell of the fish can escape and spread into the water to attract other fish.
Don't drop the anchor yet. Yeah. Yeah. Don't drop it yet. Okay. So we still have, how many minutes do we have?
5 minutes.
Are you here or there?
The deep sea camera system collects 4K video data temperature and sensor other sensors such as pressure data, for example, dissolved oxygen as well. And so we're hoping that we'll get some really great video and some other interesting data as well. These camera systems have been deployed about 600 times, and because so little of the deep sea has been explored, our team over the last 10 plus years, we find that 1 in every 10 deployments of the system results in some sort of publishable finding.
Yes, so tell us how you went about deploying that.
Oh, yeah.
From one process to the other, one step after the other.
Sure. So the camera is completely autonomous. So essentially we can program it to remain on the seafloor for a set amount of time. That can be 2 hours, that can be 3 hours, which is what we did in this instance. So we program the mission, we call it a mission, into the camera system. The camera has lights, it has a flag so that we can see it at the surface. So when we get to the deployment site, we want to make sure that we open the lights, we pop the flag up, we take out the magnets, which are essentially the on and off switch for the camera, and then once the camera starts recording, we lower it into the water. So the camera also has an anchor made of 100% natural material. So it's natural rope, 100% cotton pillowcases, and whatever is the local sand or rock is what we use as weight in the pillowcase, and that's because we want to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
Okay, so you can lower the anchor. Okay, let it go.
Let it go.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
See you in 3 hours.
The sites for the deployment of the cameras were chosen on the basis of information provided by fishermen who have been participating in the Siren program.
I realized that fishermen, they know better about this environment. So we rely on those information they are providing us, to identify priority area. And one of the reasons we are also doing this sampling because we want to understand the marine diversity which is there so that we can use the data to advocate for the protection or for the creation of a marine protected area, which is initiated by the local community. So we want them to really know better what they have on the water. It was an amazing day. It's true we started a little bit late, but it was amazing because we deployed the 2 deep sea system into the ocean for the very first time in Cameroon. So we actually made history, and we were able to recover the 2 deep sea system, and we are very eager to find out what the system captured as images. Probably we're going to see fish, shark, rays, maybe, why not, sea turtles. So tomorrow is going to be another day. So since this was like a kind of test day because we didn't know exactly what to expect in terms of procedures and everything, that now everything seems to be very well established. So tomorrow is going to be faster. We're going to start earlier, and we're going to also end earlier.
Day 2 of the expedition. The village of Bakingiri will be the main theater for the activities today, namely camera deployment and deep sea diving. The village is situated along the west coast of Cameroon, at the foot of Mount Cameroon, and is famous because it is towards it that the lava from the eruption of Mount Cameroon in 1994 flowed. The lava actually cut off the road, and after the eruption, a deviation of the road that stands as a memorial to the eruption was made. At the spot where the lava stopped is a small market where you can buy whale oil or the bones of dead whales. What promise do the waters of Bakingili hold? The waters that flow into the sea here from the mountain are pristine. So it is an ideal spot for diving because of the good transparency of the water. Let's meet the team that will be diving. First, there is LK and Jahawi, a husband and wife team.
I was lucky when I was a child that I grew up, spent a lot of time on the coast of Kenya, and I would be out with the skin divers, spear fishing, and that's where my love of the ocean and my comfortability of the ocean came. But it was only later in life when I went back to the ocean and I realized how much things were changing and how no one was talking about these stories. Because when I was young, there used to be so many fish, the corals were so healthy. But going back older, it was a different story. There was much less fish, corals were unhealthy, and I realized no one was telling me stories, and that's what pushed me to want to actually become a professional diver and start telling ocean stories.
From my side, I grew up in the northern part of the Kenyan coast. I spent a lot of my time in the ocean as a child. I was swimming before I was walking. I was, spending a lot of time on boats and underwater, and I really have seen the change firsthand myself.
Then there is Gofran, a marine biologist working with AMCO on the Shark and Ray program. She learned how to dive in calmer Mediterranean waters in her country, Tunisia.
I'm so excited to be diving today and to be part of the first research underwater expedition in Cameroon, in Limbe. We are hoping to see some fishes, some rays, maybe sharks. Yeah, we hope that the visibility is going to be good for us, and yeah, crossed fingers.
Then there is Dr. Kamla, who received training in South Africa up to the advanced stage, which means he can dive as far down as 30 meters. He has, however, never dived in Cameroon before.
Yeah, I just feel excited because I feel like what I'm doing is gonna open the doors for the many other young marine scientists who want to dive also like me tomorrow. So for me, I'm just excited about for myself and for them, and also for Cameroon, because we are opening a new page of marine science in Cameroon.
Despite the experience of Jahawi and LK, this will also be a first because support systems for the activity do not yet exist in Cameroon. And so the crew head for Bakingili. There are dark clouds building up in the horizon, and the pilot warns them that it is going to rain. A short while later, his fears are confirmed.
We can't control the weather, so sometimes there are days where everything is super calm and easy. Sometimes there are days when you might have a little bit of rain, a little bit of seas that aren't as calm, and so we always, make sure to prioritize, the safety of the team and our equipment.
So, for the safety of the team, the cameras were deployed closer to the coast and diving was postponed to the following day. This time around, on day 3 of the expedition, the weather was fine. The first person to go down was Isidore, the fisherman, who does free diving. A few minutes later, he comes back up to announce that the bottom at this particular spot is rocky and shallow, only 5 meters. The idea would be a depth of at least 30 meters. After a little search, they decide to go down on this site.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
This fish.
Upper.
This. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, go.
They will be underwater for 30 to 40 minutes. While hanging around to recuperate the divers later, the crew comes across a real treat: dolphins, hundreds of them. Nobody had been expecting to find dolphins so close to the coast. There are literally hundreds of them, but we can hardly get enough of the amazing spectacle. Better experienced live than on film. After 40 minutes, the divers re-emerge.
Excellent.
Give me your back. Give me your back. Okay.
No, just inflate it a little bit more.
Let me remove the...
Just let him remove it first. Maybe let go.
Yes. Go up, okay.
At the surface, it looks clean, but when you go down, you realize that, oh, there are plastics that are really degrading the quality of the habitat of those fish. And in fact, in the place where we dove yesterday, we realized that there were very few fishes and plastic in the area. So that tells us that we need to do something.
Okay, did it meet your expectations, or how do you view it?
So I would say, if I had to rate it on 100, I would say we meet our expectation at 95%. The rest of the 5% was because of the water visibility due to the season. Like we're still in the kind of rainy season, towards the end of the rainy season. So there's still a lot of sediment in the water, especially on the coastal area.
Expectations were met as far as actually following procedures and keeping the whole team safe. Unfortunately, not much was revealed because of the low visibility of the water. Hopefully, the next expedition will happen in the dry season when the waters are clearer. The long-term goal of this pioneering expedition was to give a new impetus to marine research in Cameroon and to inspire a new generation of young people who are getting curious about oceans and want to protect them.
The ocean is so important to a lot of African cultures, and to be able to inspire the next generation to reconnect with the ocean is incredibly important, because we are the next generation of conservation people. The younger generation coming through are the next generation. So just as we conserve the land, we need to be looking and reconnecting to our ocean. And hopefully through this and through Aristide, a new generation of Cameroonians will come out and become divers, come out and become researchers, photographers, and people who just champion the conservation of our environment.
The underwater cameras of National Geographic managed to pick up images of coral reefs and fish species unique of the coast of Cameroon, despite visibility problems.